Before we get to Adnan Virk, before we get to weekend observations, I have learned that Big Shot Bob has a podcast, and it's called Big Shot Bob.
Taylor, we're sure it is, right?
Get Big Shot Bob on the podcast, on this podcast, okay? I need him. Also, Eddie Kachuk. I will take Eddie Kachuk today. Mom, dad, brother, sister, Matthew, I don't care. Eddie Kachuk, they're all down at the Elbow Room.
Elbow.
What happened there?
I don't know. I've never been, but apparently.
You've never been to the Elbow Room?
I mean, maybe once a while back, but it's just like a kind of touristy drinking place. I can drink anywhere.
It is, but that's where the Panthers took the cup. They already took it. Yeah,
I would go this morning, but I had to be here.
You shaved your beard, I noticed.
I did, immediately after the win.
Yes.
Oh, it was such a good feeling. My face is rounder than I remember, though.
Adnan, have you ever grown out the beard and then you shave it? Because Izzy said something very funny to me this morning. My face is a lot rounder. Because he shaved this morning, and everyone knows that feeling that when you have the beard, it's looking good, you look skinnier, then you shave it off and realize just how fat your face is.
Yeah, it's a terrible feeling. During COVID, because I wasn't on TV anyway, so I let the beard grow out.
Right.
And, you look really unruly and unkempt. My main thing is just added a lot of years. I mean, I don't know why. It's something that all the white hair comes in the chin area. And then I dyed it a couple of times, which I thought I was fooling everybody. They come in like, hey, nice dye job. I go, one thing, you clearly dyed your beard. Like, no, I didn't. Yeah. Dude, you're 45 years old. There's not one white hair in your beard. I'm like, okay, fine.
I don't know if you have access to this, but I have a niece and a nephew, age 17 and 16, and I ask them for every advice possible, like all fashion advice, all looks advice, just because they seem to know what's going on.
Sure. Well, by the way, I also want to mention, Stu, as an avid listener of the podcast,
yes,
a phenomenal job with Kenny Albert. I mean, that was unbelievable. The fact that you hadn't seen him since a bar mitzvah like 40 years ago, and he's rhyming off all these names from Long Island that he remembered. Incredible recall. Also, great stories he was telling from his book. Love the fact that the Stugotz is strong in him. He's still plugging a book, which came out a year ago.
I know.
Kenny Albert said, that's in the book as well.
Yeah.
I tell this story in my book. I've called 16,000 games. Excellent
amazing.
Job by Kenny.
Yes, he really seized on the opportunity when I brought up the book. Yes.
And I want to shout out to Izzy. I love the story involving Popeye Jones. The fact that he kind of gave him the head nod of recognition. We don't have formal word of it, but sometimes with that nonverbal moment, he's like, I know who you are, and away we went. Great moment.
I loved it. I talk about it all the time. I'll probably talk about it forever.
Are you trying to get Popeye Jones on the show today? Or
No. See, our whole existence has to be nonverbal. Like, anytime we see each other, we can't say anything. So, no, he can't be on the show.
Adnan, put this team for us. The Panthers win their second consecutive Stanley Cup. We'll get to Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers and what's going to happen there. But put this Panther team in perspective. Back-to-back Stanley Cups. They've been to 3 straight. This is really hard to do. It's the toughest trophy in sports to win. I agree with that. People who say that, I agree with them when they say that. Try to put this team in perspective for us as someone who loves hockey the way you do.
I never thought I'd say this, Stu, but hockey runs through the Rainforest Cafe. Like, it's unbelievable to think about that.
There in the P.F. Chang's, yes.
Sunrise, Florida is the epicenter of hockey. It's unbelievable. And to your point, I lived through great dynasties. Your beloved Islanders winning 4 cups. I've seen the Oilers win 4 cups in 5 years. I saw the Red Wings win 3 cups at great teams with Zetterberg and Datsuk. But this achievement, I think, in the salary cap era is awfully impressive. Maybe it doesn't match those because it's 2 out of 3. But to me, to make 3 straight Stanley Cup finals in today's game where the hockey has never been better, it's a remarkable achievement. And I'm so happy for Paul Maurice. He's such a great guy. He always wins the press conference. He's so funny. He's so entertaining. And a lifer. And he never thought he was going to win that cup. He was going to be that guy, best coach never to win a Stanley Cup. He coached all the years of the Leafs. He coached with the Whalers back when he was 30 years of age. I mean, you and I know Hartford like nobody else. Yeah. He drove on that I-84. He had to coach Stu Grimson, stuck at the Civic Center, couldn't get a win. And now to win 2 Stanley Cups in his late 50s. He's been coaching forever. I'm really so happy for Mo. Sergei Bobrovsky's obviously a great dude. And, I mean, the moves that they've made, I got to mention Bill Zito. Remarkable job.
Amazing.
Just acquiring the talent. Brad Marchand was available. The Bruins weren't going anywhere. I'll give you a conditional second-round pick, end up becoming a first-round pick. Who cares? He scores 6 goals in the Cup final. Now the Panthers can re-sign him to 3 years, $7 million a year. I mean, just absolute masterstroke. Of course, acquiring Tkachuk was a great move after Huberdeau had his breakout season. Bill Zito, an absolute architect. Remarkable job by the Panthers. And we thought after the first 2 games, too, this could be an epic Stanley Cup final, right? It was so close, so taut, the speed of the game. And those last 2 games, the Oilers absolutely wilted. The Panthers showed that they're clearly the superior team, particularly their depth. They completely shut down McDavid and Draisaitl and this entire Oilers offense, which looked absolutely limp by the end. They needed to take a Cialis to get going because they were done. Great win for the Panthers.
Stu, I think of you every time I hear Wayne Gretzky try to say Matthew Tkachuk because he really wants to say that T. I mean,
Right.
It just really wants to come out. But anyway.
It's silent, great one.
Exactly.
Yes.
How are we so sure, Adnan, that this is the most difficult trophy to win? Because I've lived in South Florida my entire life, never seen a Super Bowl trophy down here. Now I got 2 of those. I don't know. Unless you've got Matthew Tkachuk going out and playing for the Dolphins next year, I don't think it's actual proof that you can say that's the toughest trophy to win.
I also, going back to your appearance previously on the pod, I just love the fact that you've written like Panther recap stories. Like they're like, we need a columnist.
No,
Who's one of our top guys?
Opinion, like columns. Like I had an opinion on a sport I didn't know shit about.
What does Izzy think about the power play? Gutierrez can figure this out. He's got the special teams unlocked. I would too. It's the hardest trophy to win in sports, man. It's a war of attrition. Yes, you're right. The Dolphins haven't won a Super Bowl since forever, but the fact that you've got to go through 4 rounds, you got to, just the level of play is so tough and so physically grueling. I don't think you can top it. And I think it's a remarkable story to think that 6 straight years the Stanley Cup has been in Florida. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know how to think about it. Like the 3 straight years of Lightning, 3 years of Florida. Gary Bettman had a mandate when he came to the commissioner. He wanted to put hockey in non-traditional markets, and he certainly has done that. Like now Florida's become a hotbed of hockey. But as our friend Steve Levy was saying, he goes, you go to Edmonton, and literally every single person at the airport is wearing some member of like Oilers apparel. Like the mannequins are dressed up as Oilers. He goes, in Miami, I don't see Panthers garb everywhere. At Fort Lauderdale, the beach is not happening. Sunrise? Yes. The barn is great. 20,000, they're going nuts. But the passion of the Oilers fans, that's where I feel for Edmonton. And I've been chastised by more than a few for saying on the podcast the Cup has not been in Canada in 32 years, which is factually correct. And this person pointed out, he goes, well, there's only 7 teams. I go, okay, well, 7 out of 32.
Right.
21% of the teams are in Canada. Okay, they have long odds, but it's still a religion back home, and they have not won a Stanley Cup for a Canadian team. Half the players are Canadian. All the players are important who are Canadian. But yes, the Cup is not in Canada. It's in Sunrise.
Florida has 2 teams. Let's go.
I can confirm that the Panthers virus has extended to Fort Lauderdale and like northern Dade parts. It hasn't really hit like south where Miami is, South Beach, but up here it's Panthers.
I saw them banging pots and pans last night. I did after the. I saw people in Miami banging pots and pans. Izzy, it got down to Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, are you proud?
Look. I've lived down here my whole life. Like I said, only won a handful of championships, and LeBron had to come down here for 2 of them. Shaq had to come down here for 1. This feels like the most homegrown, if you will, sort of, not really out of nowhere, because the big trade, like obviously they were good that year, and then the big trade just brought them to the final every year. But yeah, this is one of those deals where it feels like a champion that can be sustained for a long period of time. And even with LeBron, we were all afraid he was going to leave. So this is probably the most comforting one of all the championships.
Adnan, it does feel like this isn't going to go away anytime soon. This team is young. They are good. A lot of guys in their prime. And if they're back in the Stanley Cup next year, no one should be surprised.
No way, because you look at the rest of the Eastern Conference, go, who are the contenders? Washington Capitals were the number 1 seed. What happened in the playoffs? They fell flat. Questions about their goaltending. Ovechkin, as brilliant as he is long in the tooth. This is the last year of his contract. This could be it for Ovi. They have a good young core, but they can't match Florida right now. The Leafs, as always, perennial chokers come playoff time. Death, taxes, and the Leafs falling short of expectations. You can count on that. After that, is there a surprise? The Rangers missed the playoffs. The Bruins missed the playoffs. The Flyers are ways away. Like the original 6 teams aren't very good. So the Tampa Bay Lightning could still be formidable, yeah, but the Panthers, everyone knows, are better. They beat them this year, beat them the last couple of years. So I don't think it would shock anybody to see the Panthers in the Cup final again, which would be 4 straight Cup finals. Who knows if they'd win again? Again, good competition coming out of the West, whether it's Vegas or Dallas. Although Dallas is a team now, they've lost back-to-back Western Conference finals. And this Oilers team, again, I know we're focusing on Florida, but imagine what's going through Connor McDavid's mind.
Yes.
Back-to-back years, you're facing the Florida Panthers, and this was a worse result. You were down 3-0 last time, won 3 straight games, and lost a very tight, close Game 7. This time, you're all square after 4, an epic comeback after Game 4, and you absolutely wilted in Games 5 and 6.
He tried to pull a Messier. He tried to say they were going to win in the pregame interview. It was so sad. It was so pathetic. He couldn't even muster like a real guarantee guarantee it was just, we're going to win. Why? Because we're going to win. It's like, come on, man. That was so pathetic.
And then what happens to Connor today? Like, does Edmonton have a WFAN? Is there a local sports radio station there where there are going to be two guys in the afternoon just taking calls on getting rid of Connor McDavid and the fact that he's overrated? Greg Cody, by the way, congratulations. You have won back-to-back Stanley Cup finals, my friend. But how does it work in Edmonton? Are they going to crush McDavid the entire day?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because in most Canadian cities, there's at least another team that they're interested in. And true that there is a CFL team in Edmonton, the Edmonton Elks, used to be the Edmonton Eskimos. But no, it's all Oilers talk all the time. I mean, sprinkling of the Blue Jays, great win last night. Bo Bichette, home run of the night. Addison Barger, okay, that'll be 1 minute. But other than that, it's all Oilers. And you're right, there's going to be a lot of talk about frustration today because at one point you could say him and Drysdale had 32 points each, but McDavid only 6 goals. And again, when the games matter the most, didn't do anything. Now, you can point out, fine, Florida's incredible defense, and Barkov has won the Selke, and they threw Bennett at him, and yeah, I got it. Like, of course, he's facing extremely tough competition, but McDavid did not rise to the occasion. I don't care however you want to slice it. We were expecting, to Izzy's point, that Messier game. If you're going to guarantee, like a 94, we're winning this game, you go out there and you score a hat trick. You do something breathtaking, and he didn't. Now, the rumors are already percolating. Ready for this, Stu?
Yep.
He's hurt. He's not 100%.
Oh, I don't want to hear about it. Yeah.
Right? Allegedly, there's a hernia issue, allegedly a wrist issue. Every single of these guys are hurt, right? As soon as the playoffs are over, they go, by the way, he was playing with a broken sternum. Right. By the way, he had a torn hamstring. Like, I get it. I'm not going to dispute that. But if you're hurt, then don't play, right? Like, ultimately, I'm expecting you to play great. You didn't play great, so you can't tell me afterwards you were hurt. Well, the other guys are hurt too.
Matthew Tkachuk said he had a torn adductor off the bone.
And a hernia.
That way, and a hernia,
yes.
And yet he came back and eventually got back to form.
He's the best player in the sport the last 3 games. I mean.
Right. Like, these guys are insane. So I don't know what to tell you. But if he wasn't 100%, fine. But he didn't play his best in the games mattered most. I've interviewed McDavid once. It was last November, as I told you guys. They came in, they go, you got 5 minutes. And when he left, I looked at the producer and he goes, 4:48. Like, this guy's got an internal clock. Here's your 5 minutes. And Izzy, anything non-hockey related I tried was awful. You know what it's like when you try to warm these guys up a little bit? I asked him about his fantasy football team, 1-word answer. I asked him how much he hates ketchup, 1-word answer. I'm like, okay, he is all business. Let's just talk hockey. And the hockey was fine. He was more than amenable. He answered the questions. Yeah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, this dude is dour.
Adnan,
if I describe McDavid in a word, he's dour, and today he's miserable.
If you can imagine that person being the leader of your team, like, he doesn't have a different personality he turns on in there. We've seen him in that locker room, right? What was it? Just right F it now, right? F it now. And it's just like, I'm not listening to that guy if this is who he is. Like, look at Matthew Tkachuk during interviews. Look at Brad Marchand during interviews. Like, they're likable guys. This guy is not.
No, it really isn't. It's funny because everyone unanimously agrees he's the best player in the sport, and yet Stu pointed out he's not a top 5 Oiler. He's behind Paul Coffey, Grant Fuhr, Mark Messier, Wayne Gretzky, and Yari Curry.
Yes,
wow.
Yeah, they've all won cups. And Lowe, by the way. I mean,
Kevin Lowe in the mix as well. I love that.
He's the 7th greatest Oiler of all time. I'm not even certain he's 7th. Glenn Anderson.
Yes, Glenn Anderson. I love Andy. Andy, all-time great goal scorer, one of the greatest left wings ever.
Was it Andy Moog, too?
Andy Moog, great. Yeah, absolutely. Andy Moog is stretching, but I like it. I like that you dropped it, Andy.
He's the backup goalie.
Absolutely.
Hey, Adnan, while we're talking perspective here, Sergei Bobrovsky, I feel like I've been spoiled jumping on this bandwagon the last few years. How good has he been? Is there going to be a drop-off if he's not this level of good?
I just want to tell people listening, Adnan, that was a guy, Bob was a guy that Panther fans wanted to get rid of 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing to think about because he's certainly been well-traveled. You know, the Flyers had him one of the many misses of the Flyers to give up on Sergei Bobrovsky. He won the Vezina back when he was Columbus. Florida gets him. They go, okay, this guy's good. We're not sure if he can be great. And certainly there's moments where Bob can be inconsistent. Jason DeBurse pointed out on our podcast, NHL Unscripted, last year, Skinner actually had a better save percentage than Bobrovsky in the Cup final, and the Panthers won in 7. So he can be herky-jerky, but I'm with you, Izzy. Ultimately, I describe him as a money goalie. When the chips are down, Bob is not going to give up that goal. Can he give up some goals in Game 4? Sure. Big rally coming there from the Oilers, yeah. But when the chips are down, Bob is staunch, and he's a great athlete. That's the biggest thing. His athleticism is amazing. You know, certain goalies rely on their glove hand, their blocker, their stick. Bob just does it all. He's just a technically sound goalie. He's not Dominic Hasek, and then he's unorthodox and flying all over the place. But Bob's been so battle-tested. I mean, now the fact, when you look at his resume, this guy's won a Vezina. He's won back-to-back Stanley Cups. He's got at least 3 or 4 years, I think, of elite goaltending in him. He's still going to play at least another 5 or 6 more years. Florida's lucky to have him. He's been an incredible story, and other teams missed on him, no doubt about it.
Has Tkachuk become the game's most popular player?
I think so. After Four Nations, Stu, I go, this guy, the level of the Tkachuks rose to a different level, right? The fact that USA was a formidable team, the fact they beat Canada, the fact they had a bunch of fights, I go, okay, this appeals to anybody who's a sports fan. Oh, I like winners who are also tough. And both Tkachuks, Brady and Matthew, are funny, outspoken, come from great hockey lineage, of course. Their dad, Keith Tkachuk, was an all-time great player. So Matthew Tkachuk is living his best life. As you guys know, if he was in Edmonton, he's not going to Earl's, which is their popular watering hole, and just having a couple of drinks. Whereas in Florida, he can enjoy his life and living his best life. So Tkachuk's popularity is certainly through the roof ever since Four Nations and continuing through this Cup final.
And then you might actually already know this, but herky jerky originated in the 19th century, late 19th century, around 1890, rhyming obviously with the word jerky. It was initially used to describe the erratic and uneven movements of a baseball player's throwing motion, particularly by catcher and infielder Tip O'Neill.
Oh, I love the etymology. Wow. This goes back to baseball.
Now, this is Google AI.
He wasn't reading there.
No, Izzy off the top of his head, dropping knowledge. By the way, on another side note, I want to see this race with Izzy and Taylor. As soon as I heard Taylor ran track at UNC and was a wide receiver.
Yeah. We lost Adnan. We'll get it back here in just
I was going to say, as soon as I said that last week, I went to the treadmill.
Right.
I went to the gym, right, and was on this curved treadmill for a second.
Yes.
And on that thing has MPHs on it, right? And it basically lets you go as fast as you want to go, right?
Yeah.
And then about the third time around, I started looking at the MPHs, and I was like, oh, let's see how fast I can get this bad boy. Tweaked my hamstring. I'm out for like a week.
Oh, you tweaked a hammy, huh? Really? I'm sorry to hear that.
I know.
Age sucks, huh?
Well, no, I blame the treadmill. Like if you're,
it's the treadmill's fault.
Like,
yes.
It's not natural to have that curved ground underneath you. That every time you take a further step forward, it forces you to go faster. Like that's not normal.
Did you have words for the treadmill? Like.
My words for the treadmill is like, I wish I would have gotten to 20 miles per hour before I blew my hammy, but I didn't.
Are we going to do the race, you and Taylor?
I'm down. It's just got to be when I'm 100%, so sometime in June. July.
Right. Okay.
July.
We'll get Adnan back in a second here. We have to do a weekend observation. Weekend observations on a Wednesday.
Are we doing this with Adnan just because his name is kind of like Dan for the rest of time, or is he like the perfect person
it's
for
the
this?
exact reason we're doing it. Any Fran will do, a Dan will do, a Landan will do.
What if we get like
Landon Donovan on?
What if we get Iman Shumpert, but you call him E-Man?
Ooh, I like that.
All right. I think he'll do it.
You can get him?
Maybe.
E-Man! Adnan, before we get to weekend observations, Taylor, he has a baseball question. I don't know why, but he does. He has a baseball question.
He wants to talk about his beloved Yankees, the fact they can't score a run right now. Go ahead.
Listen, hold on a second. He also has a dog in here, and he has named the dog cute. Oakley.
Oh, my God. This is unbelievable.
I'm going to ask Israel, if you had a dog, you don't have a dog, do you?
No, my condo doesn't allow dogs.
If you had a dog, though, and you had to name him after a former Heat player, you would name
Udonis Haslem. Gotta be.
UD.
Wow. No, I've already got like a framed photo of UD in my house, so that's probably too much. Stu and I kind of chatted about this, so it has to be a name that off the drop, it's a Heat reference, but it's still kind of vague. We landed on the perfect name. Norris. My next dog will be named Norris.
Yes.
And somewhere Norris Cole is jumping for joy.
Yes. Adnan, you knew Norris the second he said it, though, right? Yes.
Well, I wanted to go Alonzo Mourning, but once he goes, it has to be obscure. Alonzo Mourning's way too popular. Okay, Norris is where we're going. That very good. Chuck Norris as well.
If you named your dog after a Yankee, where would you go?
I thought about
Kevin Moss. Kevin Moss.
Really?
You're going to go with an obscure enough Yankee to go Kevin Moss in a brief moment.
I like that.
Well, is his name Kevin or Moss? You can't name a dog Kevin.
That's a good point. Moss. Just Moss. And you go, okay, no Moss. That's what people would think it would be. It's Kevin Moss.
I was thinking about Hensley Mullins.
Oh, Bam Bam is great.
Yes,
just call him Bam Bam. That's great.
Taylor, ask your baseball question.
Adnan, I'm happy for my South Florida friends, but the Yankees have now lost 5 straight games. They haven't scored in 29 innings. It feels almost impossible at this point. And I don't want to be dramatic, but it feels like they might never score again.
Wow.
Well, we have Yankees
It's a bit
fans who are
dramatic.
diehards Taylors, you can imagine, here in North Jersey at MLB Network. And even they are saying it's over. I'm like, what do you mean it's over? They go, the season is over. I go, you're 2.5 games up on the Rays going into last night's action. You're going to have blips in the radar. It's a 162-game season. He goes, no, they've lost 5 straight. They're done.
Over.
It's an offense that is so predicated, as you know, Taylor, hitting home runs. This is not a team that has strong bat-to-ball skills. They're not going to, hit a couple of bleeders and, bunt and, get an infield single. They hit home runs. If they don't, there's a ton of swing and miss in that lineup. What's most perplexing was Judge, who's had a remarkable year, but went 1 for 12, 9 strikeouts in that series at Fenway. It was awful how lost he looked. His chase percentage particularly was off the charts. Normally he's very good at being disciplined. He was chasing everything. To your point, last night's game, Kyle Hendricks, who throws about as fast as I do, 87.6. He tops at his four-seamer. Stymied the Yankees. Like, he was unbelievable. He did 9 strikeouts. That's the highest he's had all season long. When a soft toss like Kyle Hendricks is striking you out, that's concerning, but they'll turn it around. Yes, the AL East is playing better. Rays, Jays. But the best news for you is the Red Sox traded Rafael Devers for a bag of balls. They're calling it the Luka Doncic trade for baseball. Devers for Hicks and Harrison. Are you kidding? It was a salary dump. This is the mighty Boston Red Sox. That is reason for the Yankees to celebrate. No more Devers. No one happier than Garrett Cole whenever he gets back on the mound.
They went down 1-0.
There's a follow-up?
No follow-up. Just a quick point. They went down 1-0 in the second inning, and I turned to my friend who I was watching the game with and said, game over. And it was.
Well, stay the course. I think it'll turn around. You get 27 World Series.
Can't feel bad for a Yankees fan.
Stay the course. Adnan, are you ready for Week 10 observations?
I love this. Yeah, tell Iman Shumpert, I got this. I'm doing this every time. Let's go.
All right, I need imaging.
Weekend observations. It's time for my boy Stu to share his game notes. Pen sound. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
It's weekend observations.
Weekend observations.
Right. Taylor, we can do this?
We can.
Are you sure we can do this?
I am part of our legal team. If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit.
Okay.
Nice. Johnny Cochran being imposed.
It was not deserving of a nice.
No, exactly. Also accurate. Much like Art Briles. We know where he is.
Weekend observations are brought to you by Miller Lights. Adnan, one could make the argument he's the best athlete of this generation because we've never seen anything quite like him.
Your best work, Taylor.
And when all other sports go away, we know we can count on him. Except last year. The politics of it all got in the way, and he wasn't allowed to compete. But this year, the ban has been lifted. And Adnan, just like that, make no mistake about it, Joey Chestnut is back.
I thought we were going Pete Rose. I had no idea where this was going.
16-time champion. Yeah. Great, Stu.
This Panthers team, wagon.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
No idea.
Hockey term. Yeah, they're away.
Is it? Okay.
Carries heavy stuff
Fire
around.
wagon, yeah.
Stuart Skinner. More like Stuart Stinker.
Oh, jeez.
The C in Connor McDavid stands for can't score goals and can't win the big one.
Doesn't stand for cup.
It's mean, but it's funny.
It doesn't stand for cup. You're right. The M in Connor McDavid stands for maybe next year.
Oh, jeez.
And most likely not.
Don't worry. Their best game is still coming, Stu.
The G in Greg Cody stands for gloating.
Yeah.
Greg Lodi.
Thank you.
Gloat Cody.
Greg Glody is my favorite name. Oh, my God. Stuart Skinner. I already said that one. My Mount Rushmore of American heroes. This is my Mount Rushmore. Mike Eruzione.
Nice.
Jim Craig.
Yes.
TJ Oshie.
I thought you were saying McConnell.
And Joey Chestnuts.
No, come on.
No particular order. Listen, I left out George Washington, Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, but, you know.
OLS.
Love the
Mount Rushmore.
Eruzione pick.
Eruzioni's a lock, right? TJ
Miracle on
Oshie.
Ice.
Listen, TJ Oshie stands for any time they're playing the national anthem. It doesn't matter where he is. Lake Tahoe. They play the anthem the night before they tee off for the tournament. TJ Oshie at his table with his family makes the entire family stand and take their hats off. How about that?
There's a generation of American hockey fans that know nothing but think TJ Oshie is the greatest player of the last 20 years. Because what he does, when he puts Mike Golick's like, I love TJ Oshie. Okay, he's a good player. He's great with the Stars and Stripes. Go ahead.
Sounds like a jerk.
Yankees getting swept by the Red Sox. You know what was on the menu this weekend for the Yankees at Fenway?
What's that?
Some humble pie. The Stanley Cup should be renamed the Stanley Kachuk.
A lot of Kachucks in the house.
Put that on a
That's
t-shirt
great.
and let's go sell it, all right?
Dude, that's great.
Get me a Kachuk. Eddie Kachuk.
He's at the elbow room.
Elbow room.
Sorry.
Adnan. You know what the B in Sam Bennett stands for?
What's that?
Back up the Brinks truck.
Yeah, he's going to get paid.
Australian golfer Jason Day says his favorite football team is the Cleveland Browns and his second favorite is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, Jason, newsflash. They're rivals. You can't do that. Pick a team. The Jess is strong in you.
Yes, the Jets.
Just picked two teams out of a bucket and said, I would be fans of these two.
You know what the J in Jason Day stands for? Jess.
Oh, jeez.
If Desmond Bain can get you 4 first-round picks, just imagine what Luka Doncic could get you.
Doncic.
I don't care.
It always gets him.
It does. And he knows it, and he puts it in there anyway. Red Sox trade Rafael Devers.
Devers.
I don't care. It's Panther Day.
It should be Devers, let's be honest.
That sound you just heard was Yankee fans throwing a parade.
There you go, Taylor.
It was Taylor. It was Taylor's observation. It was. I didn't write it. I don't care about Devers or Devers. Yeah, what his name is. Red Sox have won 7 of 8. I mean,
Gail Devers.
Gail Devers, good one.
top 5 Devers.
Great runner. Top 5 Devers.
Garrett Cole hasn't slept that good in years.
Yeah.
The DC Defenders have a better name than the Washington Commanders. Something to ponder.
Yeah, that's debatable.
Thank you. Roman Anthony hitting his first career home run a day after Rafael Devers was traded. You know what that is, Adnan?
What's that, Stu?
It's a passing of the torch.
No, I don't think that's accurate. I don't think Roman Anthony-
Welcome to the Roman Empire.
That's crazy.
He went to your daughter's high school.
Did he really?
Yep. Stoneman?
She didn't go to Stoneman. Private school.
No.
You think I'm sending my kids to a public school? You know my wife, Taylor? You met her?
Stoneman's a great school.
Stoneman's a fantastic school. I love it.
It's too public for you.
Perhaps. Giants have a Yastrzemski. Yaz.
Yeah. Mike Yastrzemski, that's right. Breaking news.
Tyrese Halliburton, believed to have suffered a strained calf after a game in which he made 0 shots from the field. Convenient timing. What are these guys? It's McDavid, it's LeBron James, all these guys. They
come
had
on,
terrible
don't do
games.
that
They
to
come out and they
him.
say they're injured afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, convenient excuse.
A bunch of cowards. I mean, Joey Chestnut, they are not. Chestnuts.
You never heard Chester talking about a pulled groin. You know,
Right.
he loses.
Oh, my God. Tyrese Halliburton, the rare jersey number. That is also how many shots he made.
Oh, boy.
Jeez. That's tough.
The Thunder should retire Paul George's number for getting them Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA. Can the Pacers get TJ McConnell some help? If Rick Carlisle doesn't take out TJ McConnell, the Pacers win that game. The only thing that was stopping TJ McConnell was Rick Carlisle's rotations.
Ouch.
Enough with Carlisle.
Carlisle overrated.
He's going to rotate them right into not winning a championship.
Got to play TJ 48 minutes.
Yankees play-by-play announcer Dave Sims said a player was batting a dangerous 217. Hey, Dave, if you're batting 217, newsflash, not dangerous. What is a dangerous 217?
I think he's being facetious. There's no way.
Was Dave Kingman a dangerous 217?
Steve Balboni, Pete Incaviglia, those guys were dangerous 217s.
At one point during that game, I stood up and gave Jalen Williams a standing ovation.
No, you didn't.
You're right.
I mean, by the time he scored 40, you were at least 3/4 asleep.
So asleep. J-Dub. Abby said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Standing out."
Now I believe it.
She hated it. And I think she hates me. What a surprise. Kevin Durant wants to play with Victor Wembanyama. Choose a difficult path once, huh? I would say that ring won't count in my personal record book, StugottsBook.com.
Nice.
But Chris Paul is already there to make sure they won't win. So Durant's going to choose a team with CP3 on it, and CP3 never makes it to the finals.
Yeah.
I can't believe CP3 is still playing.
You think Wemby learned all this when he decided to become a monk? I think he already knew if he gets KD, he's not going to win.
Right, exactly. Headline, Chuba Hubbard says Panthers' goal this year is winning the Super Bowl.
No.
Is it Chuba?
June.
Chubba Hubbard. You know?
It's Chuba.
Chuba
That's
Hubbard.
Chuba, yeah.
Tomato.
Sure.
Shohei Ohtani, 9 ERA, overrated.
No, 1 inning. Come on, Stu. He
I
threw 28 pitches.
mean, listen, do it
he
in the
hasn't thrown a
fifth.
pitch in 663
Numbers
days.
are numbers.
I don't want to hear about 100 miles per hour on the clock, and they're going to do it in the 6th inning. How's that sound?
Lower that ERA. Give some of that money back. He hasn't gotten it yet, actually.
Do it in the 6th inning.
Good thing the Dodgers are only paying him $2 million a year.
Eventually.
When? Adnan. Very quietly.
Yeah.
Arkansas
Yeah.
threw a no-hitter in the College World Series.
Yeah. Well,
Do you know that pitcher's name?
No.
Gage Wood.
You know who he
That's
did
right.
it again? That's a great pitcher's name.
That's a great porn
pitcher.
name.
You know the school he did? Yes. Better
Yeah.
porn name or pitcher's name?
Porn director, probably.
You know who he did it against?
Coastal Carolina.
Murray! Yes. State.
I did not know that.
By the way, the call when he threw the no-hitter was everyone here in attendance is full wood.
Ah, that's fantastic. Crowd going from 6 to midnight.
JJ Spawn winning on Father's Day. Special. The only team in the MLB to not have been swept this year is the 37-35
Reds.
Cincinnati Reds. You knew that. Baseball. Yeah, that is so baseball right there.
That's a good nugget.
JJ Spawn saved the U.S. Open with 1 putt.
How about you put together a streak? I mean, seriously. Winning or losing, I don't care. He did. He saved the U.S. Open with 1 putt. You're right. Adnan, you know what the O in Oakmont stands for?
What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so hard to play. Get the fuck over it.
Burns was so mad.
Yeah, I know. What is this?
A Florida.
A 64-foot putt. I have no idea. I thought it was a dollar sign. I am tired. I was up late partying at the Elbow Room.
The Panthers weren't even there yet. Stu was just going
It was just me and Barkov and the Kachucks. Barkov.
Sasha.
Hall of Famers. Hall of Famers were made last night. They were. I mean, a 64-foot putt to win your first major is a hell of a way to do it. Speaking of hell, I want to say David Sampson so bad. Art Briles!
No, come on.
But you did say David Sampson.
Okay. Adnan, those are the weekend, I think, observations.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Fantastic, especially mentioning Sampson. Great stuff you just do. And in honor of Kenny Albert, buy my book, August 26th. Cinephile, coming soon.
It's not cinephobe.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye, Izzy.
All right, we'll talk to you Monday. See you.
Yeah, see you Monday.